What's up, guys? It's SRC bringing you another Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, and this time it's actually a domination ground war on the map Village. And this game is really old. I just found it on my hard drive. It was actually recorded November 18th, so I guess we were about 10 days into the game. I really didn't know the maps, obviously. I didn't really have a specific route or a specific play style. And I didn't really play Ground War at all very much. And to this day, I still don't really play Ground War at all in Modern Warfare 3. It's a pretty rare occasion. We really only do it if I'm playing with a clan and we have more than 6 people. And so just to accommodate, we'll kind of go to Ground War. But I usually don't intentionally play it. But this gameplay, you know, I haven't really even watched it completely through. I'm sure it's definitely pretty subpar, just because the game was so new and I was kind of a nub at the game and played kind of cautiously because I didn't know what I was doing. I actually end up switching weapons here and I go to the PP90 a little bit into the game here. But I wanted to show it just because of the care packages. The care packages, I get an AC-130 and an Osprey gunner in, I think, back-to-back care packages, which is pretty cool. Again, it's just one of those kill streaks that if you run Assault and you're looking for something low that's pretty decent, definitely the care package is a viable option, because it definitely, if you're running it with low kill streaks, you can get them quite a few times in the game, and it works out to be pretty good. So you take a look at this gameplay and just kind of reminiscing, I guess. I found this on the hard drive, thought it'd be interesting to post because it's you know, so old and things have changed so much. I know all the maps inside and out, and I think I just play a lot better than I did, you know, a week into the game. So that's that. But the reason I wanted to make this video is kind of a response to Woodysgamertag. He made a video today talking about overpowered weapons in Modern Warfare 3 and whether there were or weren't overpowered weapons. And the way he kind of broke it down was that we tend to judge whether a weapon is overpowered or not by how we get killed by it and not how we use it. And by that he meant, so if you get killed by a striker and you know you're just yelling about it, or you get one bursted by a Type 95, you just kind of complain about it like, oh, I got one shotted by it, and not really how you use it. And that's, you know, it's a pretty good evaluation, because there are definitely times where I get killed by weapons that I just felt like had an unfair advantage. Like a Type 95 is one of the weapons where you definitely notice when you get killed by it. And so I think one way to kind of judge if a weapon is overpowered or not is how a gunfight plays out. Typically in Modern Warfare 3, and with most weapons, and this is how I think it should be, is that whoever starts the gunfight or starts shooting someone first is usually going to win that gunfight. Now certainly headshot multipliers and overall accuracy will play a role here, but I think typically if you start shooting someone, they start shooting back, you've started damaging them first, you should kill them first. And that's how it generally plays out. And so when things don't go that way, we kind of start to call, you know, BS and complain about it. And there's a couple weapons where you specifically notice that you get killed by, and the Type 95 is one of them. And so, you know, you'll be running around, let's say you find somebody, you start shooting them in the back, they turn around and they one burst you with a Type 95, you can lose that gunfight, and, you know, you probably should have won it because you started shooting first. And it's kind of the same thing with the Striker and the FMG9s. I mean, there's times where I've encountered people, started shooting them, and they kill me with those two weapons, and I feel like I didn't have a fighting chance there because I got into the gunfight first, caught them off guard, and I still lost. Now, does that make the weapon overpowered or not? I think, you know, Woody claims that it doesn't. Some people would claim it absolutely does. And one example I used with this is, let's say you had like a golden gun from the old James Bond video games where it was a one-shot kill no matter where you shot the person. But let's say it took 2 minutes to reload the gun. So anywhere you shoot somebody, they die immediately, but you can only fire once every 2 minutes. Is that gun overpowered? I would say it's not, because no one's going to use a gun you can only fire once every 2 minutes. You're only going to be able to get, you know, 5 kills a game. But if you got killed by that weapon, you'd call BS because, you know, maybe they shot you from across the map with it, or they hit you in the toenail and you fell over dead. And so it's kind of, I don't think you can really judge it that way, I guess, is what I'm getting at. The way that I look at it, whether a gun is overpowered or not, is does the weapon do what it was intended to do, or what its sweet spot is? And so for an assault rifle, it's supposed to be good in medium to long range. That's kind of its sweet spot. So Woody talks about in controlling the engagement, right? If you put yourself in the position that the weapon was intended for, you should do well with it. And so if you have a Type 95, and let's say your head glitch in a spot and you see somebody out in the distance and you shoot him and kill him, that's what that weapon was intended for. And with an SMG, it's kind of that small, short to medium range is what its sweet spot's for. And with the shotgun, it should be up close. And so if you're in a building and somebody runs around the corner and you shoot him with a striker, you should kill him. And that to me is a fair fight, right? Because a shotgun should beat an SMG or an assault rifle in a really close quartered fight like that. And the way that things play out on the maps should make a difference, right? You should have maps that are close quarters where, you know, I think Vacant was one of the maps on, I think, COD 4, where you're in a building. And so that would be a perfect shotgun map. You're running around going building to building. Lockdown's kind of another one where there's a lot of buildings. And you could use like an SMG or a shotgun. And Dome is another one, like with SMGs and shotguns would do well on that map. Whereas an assault rifle or a sniper rifle probably shouldn't do really well on that. And so, to me, when you start having weapons that are viable everywhere, no matter what the situation is, that's when I think you start to see guns that may be overpowered. And one example of this is the striker. The striker is really good up close, like it should be. And it does have a pretty decent range on it when you start getting some of those better proficiencies and extended mags. And it gets to the point where when you look at a map choice and the maps come up, and my friends kind of joke about this because regardless of what map comes up, we'll just say shotgun map, and the answer is always yes, because we want to level it up. And you can play the striker on Village, you can play the striker on Fallen, and you can have a good game with it. Now, a Spaz 12 without some proficiencies, would you want to take that onto the map Fallen or the map Village? No, you would do terrible with it. It would be a gun that's not set up for that. And so, you know, it's clear that those guns aren't overpowered in those situations. The Type 95 is another one that I think before they patched it was initially intended to be a long-range assault rifle, right? That's what a 3-burst assault rifle is meant for. And so on the map Village, if you're shooting somebody across the map, the Type 95 should be one of the best choices in that situation. But what was happening is, if you would walk around the corner and see somebody, you could hip fire the Type 95 and get a 1-burst kill more often than not. And so you had people that were running that with steady aim and not marksmen because they knew that it was so good up close. You almost had a shotgun in your hand with a Type 95. And so to have a Type 95 in a close quarters fight winning against shotguns and SMGs, that really shouldn't be happening. And so to me, that's kind of the mark of a gun being overpowered. And the same goes for the FMG9s. Now, I agree with Woody's Gamertag. I am all for strong secondaries in this game, because the more strong secondaries you have, you give people a viable option to not run a Stinger missile, which means that your kill streaks can actually do something. I don't like to run the FMG9s myself. I usually run a Stinger. And when air support comes up, it's gone before it even gets into the map most of the time. When me and my friend play, between the two of us can take down almost any air support within seconds. And that makes the game not fun for the people that are running those assault kill streaks. But the FMG9s are to the point where they should be good as a secondary. Meaning that if you're a sniper or you have an assault rifle and you know you're going to be moving and going to be in a close range fight, or you know somebody's going to walk around the corner, you should be able to switch to that weapon, get your kill, go back to your main weapon and play the game. But the FMG9s are viable everywhere. People use them as their primary and flip to them every time. And, you know, today on lockdown, I got sniped from a window while I was capping B across the map with FMG9s. And to me, that's kind of the mark of these weapons being overpowered. And so I don't want them to break them and make them not playable. I just want them to be good in the situations they were intended for. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about Modern Warfare 3 weapons and their balance, and what do you consider overpowered? Does the situation or the explanation I had make sense, or am I kind of off the mark here? And so you saw that this gameplay was really old, back from November. I thought I'd link it to a couple of my old videos that you may not have seen. You know, a lot of you guys are new subscribers, or you may be new to this channel today. And so check this out. I've got a flawless sabotage on the left. It's back quite a while ago. I just got into a game late, finished up, and did a pretty good job there. And then on the right is a village nade spot where you can get a pretty good grenade kill. That's a really kind of a quick tip, and it's worked quite a bit for me. It's a good way to get people off that sniper perch without exposing yourself. So other than that, I appreciate you guys watching this, and I will see you guys in the game.